There are plenty of players and teams for us to talk about as the NBA's February 9th trade deadline approaches. But one very large star has somehow managed to fly under the radar amid the trade chatter. Toiling away on another underwhelming Wizards team, Kristaps Porzingis is playing some of the best basketball of his career. He's no longer the potential franchise savior New Yorkers once hoped him to be, and he wasn't the perfect pairing for Luka Doncic in Dallas. But the first big man to be dubbed a unicorn is still a pretty damn good baller, and rival teams should be trying to pry him out of Washington. As is often the case when a preordained superstar fails to live up to the hype, whether due to injuries or his own shortcomings, fans can be quick to write the player in question off as a bust. But often enough, players like Porzingis ultimately find their groove in a different role than the one initially envisioned for them. Porzingis obviously isn't a franchise-level superstar, and he may never even be an all-star again, but he's still a productive big man who's also now more efficient than ever. Through half the 2022-23 campaign, Porzingis is averaging roughly 22 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.5 blocks, and a steal, while logging more playing time than he has in 6 years. Though his three-point shooting has dipped well below average, Porzingis has managed to up his overall efficiency thanks to improvements around the rim and from floater range. He's shooting a career-high 55% inside the arc and nearly 81% from the free throw line, while getting to the charity stripe more than ever before. Among 30 players using multiple post-up possessions per game, Porzingis ranks 5th in post-up efficiency. His efficiency as a roller has also increased. Essentially, Porzingis is now using his tremendous size more on the offensive end. And while his current three-point percentage leaves something to be desired, opponents still have to respect the career 35% shooter behind the arc, making his overall arsenal something to contend with. His defense has also bounced back after knee injuries slowed him. His pick-and-roll D can be exposed by more mobile big men, but Porzingis is once again one of the league's best help defenders and rim protectors. Among the 110 players who've defended at least 100 shots at the rim this season, Porzingis ranks top 25 in defensive field goal percentage. Among the players who defend the most shots overall, few have had the impact on opponents' shooting that Porzingis has. The 7'3" center also manages to do it all without fouling much. The only other players over the last 5 years to average at least 1.5 blocks and 1 steal per game while committing less than 5 fouls per 100 possessions were Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, and Giannis Antetokounmpo.
It's quite an impressive list.
As a second or third offensive option, and on a versatile team that can already defend more mobile lineups, Porzingis could be a tremendous two-way addition. His inflated salary should also be less of a concern at this stage of his contract than it was when Dallas first signed him to a 5-year, $158 million pact in 2019, or than it was when the Wizards traded for him last year. Porzingis will earn just over $33.8 million this season, with a $36 million player option for 2023-24. The prospect of him declining that option and hitting free agency seemed unlikely just last year. But while he'd surely have to take a sizable cut in salary, the big man can undoubtedly secure more guaranteed money if he opts for free agency this summer. That kind of long-term security might appeal to a player who's battled injuries throughout his career. Even if he does have eyes on free agency, he's still only 27 years old, so he doesn't have to be a short-term rental. A team trading for Porzingis might see him as part of its future, and could even retain him on a deal that's more in line with his current on-court impact. Now, you could argue that all of those factors mean the Wizards should have no interest in trading him. After all, Porzingis has arguably been Washington's most valuable player this season. The Wizards have always prioritized chasing a low playoff seed over lottery odds, and they might be even less inclined to tank now that the Wiz owe Bradley Beal $250 million.
Make a lot of money.
On the other hand, if the Wizards remain outside the play-in, they may be more tempted to hit abort on this season than years past. Given how juicy the top of the 2023 draft will be, the fact they owe the Knicks a lottery-protected first-rounder, and the fact they do risk losing Porzingis for nothing this summer. Would the Pelicans, a top 5 defense but one without a natural rim protector, have any interest in swapping Jonas Valanciunas for Porzingis? Of course, salary filler and possibly even a first rounder would have to go to Washington. The Lakers have long been rumored to be chasing Miles Turner. Would they settle for Porzingis, an almost lesser version of Turner, sharing the court with Anthony Davis? Add the expiring Will Barton to the mix for LA, with Russell Westbrook's expiring contract and a protected first-rounder going back to DC. Send Porzingis and Kyle Kuzma back to Lakerland, and maybe Washington can pry both of the Lakers' picks away. Is Porzingis good enough to be the type of player the Warriors would cash in any of their future-minded chips for? If the Raptors decide to keep building around their core rather than tearing it down, could Toronto take a flyer on Porzingis to address the team's glaring lack of a true center in the short term while rookie Christian Koloko develops? In any event, while fans may have slept on Porzingis' resurgence, rival front offices surely haven't. Keep that in mind as the deadline nears and the Wizards continue on their usual fast track to nowhere.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button.